Alright, welcome back. One more section to go. Benefits. There's actually a decent amount of benefits compared to some of the other hazards we talk about, kind of scrapping to figure out what they're useful for. Impacts actually have some pretty decent benefits. Go you, impacts. So, let's start at the beginning. When I'm talking about the beginning, I'm talking about the beginning of life. Okay, every semester students mess this part up. I'm not talking about the beginning of humanity, the beginning of human life. I'm talking about the beginning of all life on planet Earth. I'm talking about the very first organisms on Earth, of single-celled bacteria organisms, the things that first took hold on Earth around 4 billion years ago. Not the beginning of humans, not when humans evolved. People get this mixed up all the time. The very, very beginnings of life on Earth, single-celled bacteria. Not sure what I'm talking about? Take a biology class. So, extraterrestrial impacts from stuff from space, could have pre-staged the beginnings of life. Here's how. There's some different options. So, an asteroid or comet could have brought the organic material necessary for the chemical reactions that eventually led to living matter. Maybe early Earth was devoid in certain things that necessitate life, different elements, different compounds. Maybe some space debris brought that here. Additionally, impacts could have provided a dramatic jolt of energy that led to the development of complex molecular structures necessary for life. To start to combine different compounds to make complex molecules, you need energy. And impacts bring a lot of energy in the form of heat, typically. In chemistry, to do a reaction, sometimes you need to heat stuff up, like a Bunsen burner. You need that energy for things to kind of disassociate and kind of connect. Maybe that impact provided that jolt of energy to stuff that was here for things start to come together. Additionally, it's also thought that a significant portion of water, life-essential water, present on Earth today actually could have arrived in the form of ice-laden comets that melted upon impact. So you get a number of comets. Remember, a comet is an asteroid covered in ice, water ice. Get a number of these things hit, that ice melts to water. So there's an idea that some of the water that on Earth came from these impacts of early comets. So those are the benefits, the beginning of life. All life on Earth. The beginning of life on Earth were single-celled bacteria organisms. This is not talking about the beginning of humanity when humans evolved from apes, our ape ancestors. No. So what about benefits to Earth itself? Well, tsunamis generated from some of these impacts, should the impact occur in the ocean, could bring nutrients back into the sea as the water rushes up onto land and back out, bringing nutrients back into the water. Impacts on land could create craters that become freshwater lakes, so creating different types of biomes and environments, creating new habitats. So there's benefits to the beginning of life on Earth. There's benefits to Earth itself and some of the organisms based on some of these other things. And there's also a benefit in when things go extinct. So if things go extinct, that might allow other species to take foot and to reign. That's how all extinctions really have worked on Earth. And there's been a handful of mass extinctions. Some small extinctions, some mass extinction, where big percentages of all life on Earth went extinct. 75%, 50%, 20% of all life on Earth, animals and plants, go extinct. There's a bunch of different extinction events. Some of them tied to impacts, some of them just to climate change, plate tectonics, etc. But if something goes extinct, that will allow something else to reign. Obviously talked about this already, but the death of the dinosaurs eventually led to the thriving of mammals. Another great benefit of impacts is tourism. Think about what's going on at Meteor Crater up in near Flagstaff, Arizona. People go there every day of the year to check it out. That kind of stuff also creates jobs. Plus, meteorites themselves, maybe not asteroids, but meteorites and the material that we find has many uses. Not just scientific, but decorative, religious, magical, mysterious weapons, watches, jewelry. There's all kinds of random uses for meteorites. Probably the main one is scientific data, but another would be decoration, like the Meteor Man, or even myself. In fact, in this little cabinet, this little tool chest behind me in this top drawer, I have a bunch of meteorites. Now, they're not on display, so it's not necessarily decoration. I'd use them more for scientific purposes, and I'll bring them to class. But I guess I could use them for decoration. I'm more so scientific about it. But yeah, decoration, a lot of people display these things. Some meteorites have some religious connotations to it. In Mecca, in the Great Mosque in Mecca, there's a black stone that makes the cornerstone of this structure, and it's thought that this is actually a meteorite. No one has tested it for sure to 100% say it is, because of the religious symbol that it is now, and that would be desecrating it. But in Islam, it's thought that God gave this rock to Adam, as in Adam and Eve, the beginning of the Bible, for atonement and forgiveness. But researchers think it's actually a meteorite. Another meteorite in Oregon, the Clackamas tribe up in Oregon thought that, or feel that this rock was given to them by the Tomanawas, which are are the sky people. According to this tribe, those are the sky people, the Tomanawas. They gave the tribe this rock for healing and cleansing. So some people see these as religious symbols. For people that are religious and these play a part, that's a big part of their life. Meteorites have been used for magical and mysterious weapons. In fact, when they found the tomb of King Tut, his full name is King Tutankhamun, not Tutankhamun, Tutankhamun. So when they uncovered his tomb, they found buried with him a knife, very beautiful knife, and actually the blade they found out is actually a meteorite. That's a pretty cool knife to have. If you're the pharaoh of Egypt and something falls from the sky and then you make it into a knife, that's very much a status symbol. That's very much saying, this is given to me by the gods, and now I will brandish it. So, yeah. It's used in jewelry. Watch faces, got that Windmanstatten pattern from an iron meteorite. It's also used in jewelry. Isn't that a much cooler thing to give someone a meteorite engagement ring or wedding ring as opposed to a diamond? Diamonds, that's old news. Meteorites, that's the way to go. I'm telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's a long one. That brings us to the end. A lot of cool stuff in this one, and we'll touch on some of this in class and probably hear more about things like Barringer meteor crater, maybe at the end of the semester in some of our presentations. But before we go, I just want to let you know to make sure you watch this video up here. I'm giving this a shot, but so in order for you to watch some links that I'm providing, there should be a little pop-up. If it hasn't came it will already on the screen, there's a little pop-up that should be kind of up in this area. And if it doesn't, because this is the first time I'm doing this, look down in the YouTube description below. I'll have a link to another video that I want you to make sure to watch that really will be helpful moving forward in this unit as we get into the material we're working on in class. So watch this pop up if it's popped up, and if it hasn't yet, you click on the link, the YouTube link below to another video that will kind of help wrap all this stuff up. Other than that, I got nothing. Until next time, I'll see ya.